Salut et bienvenue. Welcome to EBI26, which is giving opinions in different tenses. If you're watching this video, it's because on your latest writing or speaking assessment, your teacher's given you this EBI, and it's a really important EBI, this, and one we want to crack today. I'll tell you why, because half your marks in the writing and speaking are for your content, so giving opinions, developing them, giving detail. The other half is for your sort of skill and depth and breadth of language and grammar. So this EVI here is two things. You're obviously not getting the content marks if you're not doing opinions correct in different tenses, and you're not getting the grammar marks because you're not showing your knowledge of tenses. So after today's video, and with a little bit of help here, you'll be able to really boost your marks, and this will boost your grade up massively if you conquer these things. However, there's no short-term fix to this. We're going to do some sort of more focused things that you can use straight away and get into your French to improve your grade. But if you want long-term improvement, if you really want to improve your French and get good, this is a long-term project that you're going to do, and I'll talk about that as well and the sort of things you need to do. So all of that coming your way in this video. As I've said though, this is a long-term goal, giving opinions, developing your ideas in different tenses. Learning different tenses takes years of practice, and it's really tough at the start, right? But one day you'll just be able to change the verb into different tenses if you keep practicing without even thinking about it. Just like I'm talking to you in English now, the words just come out of my mouth. That will be your French if you practice. So you can vastly improve this in the short term as well, but you need to work on this between now and your next assessment. So step one, during next module, when you learn a new verb, learn it in all the different tenses. Practice putting a verb into different tenses and testing yourself on it, because you will need to do that in the exam. So make sure you know the rules, make sure you can change. There's EBI videos for each tense that you can watch to help you out as well. The second step is the most important. In your revision homework, you're going to get questions in the present, in the past, in the future, in the conditional, and all of them will invite you to give your opinion. You have to give your opinion on every single question. So when you're preparing next time, when you're doing your long list of questions, when you've identified what tense the question's in and you're giving your opinion, think, right, I've got to give my opinion in a different tense. This is my EBI from last time. It's not going to be again. Maybe you'd want to watch this video again and look at the language again and revise again to make sure it's in your head. That is what you'll need to do to make sure you're good. And that brings me nicely to my extra challenge. Now, this extra challenge is something I used to do. I used to get loads of EBIs, loads of things to improve in my French, and I just went away and did some things, because that's how you get learn, and that's what you need to do. So today's extra challenge, we're going to be looking at a grid today, and what I want you to do for extra challenge is copy it out on a piece of paper, blank, and then on the other side copy it out with all the answers, and then stick it up somewhere in your room. Stick it up somewhere you go a lot. Like I used to put mine by my mirror, so every morning when I was getting ready, or like every night if I was going out looking in the mirror, I'd force myself to look at the revision by my mirror, and I'd have to go through all the answers before I got ready, and that was a great way to get it back into my head. Now, I didn't get all the answers all right, I just used to test myself and look and come back and back and back to it, and eventually I did get everything right. That's a really good extra challenge. That is what I think you should do today. So these are the long-term things to get this into your heads and to make sure you improve. We're going to look at a shorter term strategy now. We're going to look at the absolute core essentials for this and make sure they're stuck in your head. Alors mes petits, right, to do this then, we're going to put you to the task. You've seen this vocabulary. It's all about using some key phrases and some key verbs in different tenses, and that's what my grid is all about here. Alors, je vais expliquer l'activité en français. Première chose à faire, dans les cahiers roses, il faut copier la grille. Your pink books stay with you for your whole GCSE, so can you make sure it's nice? Copy this as perfectly as you can. Get this grid in your book and copy in all the English as well. Make it look nice. Après avoir copié la grille, l'activité c'est ici. Donc, ici, j'ai les mots qui manquent et ici, j'ai l'onglet. Ici, vous avez les verbes qui manquent dans le temps différent. Donc, ce qu'il faut faire, il faut mettre le verbe ici dans la bonne colonne. Par exemple, j'ai aimé. Okay, so I know it's a verb aimer to like, so it's along here. What tense is this in? J'ai aimé. What does it mean? Does it mean I liked, I used to like, I will like, or I would like? I know j'ai aimé have to have the have. This is I liked or I have liked, so I'll write that in there. What about our next one? J'ai aimé. This is the imperfect. I used to like, so I'll write this one in here. See what I'm doing? This one, c'est. C'est means it is, so it's not a verb. Aimer is être, it is goes here. Et voilà, donc ce qu'il faut faire, il faut compléter la grille en mettant le verbe dans le bon espace aujourd'hui. Alors, vous avez 4 minutes. I want 7 today. There's 14 in total. All these verbs down here, I reckon you should know 7 of them and put them in the right place. You've 4 minutes to do this, so put me on pause. Take the 4 minutes, see what you can do. When you've done all you can and you're ready, restart the video and I'll go through the answers and we'll talk about the importance of these verbs. Alors donc, vous avez 4 minutes mes petits, on y va. Et voilà mes petits. Right guys, if you're listening to me now, it's because you've tried to place these verbs in blue and yellow at the bottom into the right spaces and you're ready for our answers. Now this is what you're struggling to do when it comes to your assessment. So what I've done is I've given 4 key verbs that you need for the opinions and we've put them in the different tenses. You've now got to learn this. So we did the first few together. I liked is j'ai aimé. I have liked. I used to like is j'ai aimé. When you're answering a question in the past tense, you need to think about which one of these to use. So like, say what you did last weekend, you need to say j'ai aimé faire ça parce que. Then I like is j'aime. I will like and I would like. This is one mistake people do. They talk about the future and they do it perfectly. Pour les vacances prochaines, j'irai aux Pays-Bas avec mes amis parce que j'ai toujours voulu visiter Amsterdam. And then they say, j'aime Amsterdam parce que, and they use j'aime, but they're talking in the future. You've got to remember the tense. So I will like is j'aimerais and I would like is j'aimerais. And there you go. With aimer, you can see the 5 different ways to say I like in the different tenses. I liked, I used to like, I will like, I would like. You're going to need to use all 5 of these in your GCSE. So you've got to know these really, really well. Well done if you put them in the right place. The next step is learning them. All right, la même chose avec le verbe détester. So it follows the pattern. J'ai aimé is I liked, so j'ai détesté is I hated. Je détestais is I used to hate. I hate is je déteste. I will hate, same as aimerais, just change it to détester. Je détesterai, and then I would hate, je détesterai. You've got to know all 5 of these verbs in the different tenses for our past tense questions, our present, our future, our conditional. Now this next one, se plaire, is to please oneself. This is really irregular. It will really impress the examiner if you're using this because it's really advanced, as you can see by how it looks. Remember, ce qui m'a plu literally says this which me has pleased, what I liked. So I've done all this for you. This is the one that's missing. Ce qui me plaît is what I like. You can learn this in the 5 tenses and use it. The examiner will love it. Now the bottom one is the most challenging. Être is the verb to be. People always get this wrong and it's because it is c'est and they use c'est all the time. So l'année dernière je suis allé en vacances, c'est incroyable. It is, non, you have to know it was, it is, it will be and it would be, and you need c'était, c'est, ce sera, ce serait. Et voilà. Right guys, give yourself a mark out of how many you've done. I said I wanted half. 7 would be brilliant. Now this is the grid that you will need to use, and when you're doing your long list next time, you might want this in front of you to think, right, I'm talking in the past tense, so I need to use the past tense verbs, etc. You need this up to help you. This is what you need to learn. So I've given you 4 minutes and I've given you the language down here. I really want you to test yourself properly on this. It doesn't matter if you get 0. The whole point of Red Pen, the whole point of these videos is you're testing yourself and you're learning. No one knows your marks that you get for this. No one cares about them. What everyone cares about, including you, hopefully, is what mark you get at the end of your GCSE. So we really need to push on this. One more activity. Alors mes petits, c'est exactement les mêmes choses. On peut copier la table encore une fois, mais cette fois, il n'y a pas de verbe pour placer. Il faut compléter la table, la grille, selon les mots qui manquent. Alors, so, think back. What can you remember? I liked. How do you say this? How do you put this verb in the past tense? What about I used to like? What about I like? What about I will like? See what you can do. Your target again is 7, which I think is a tough target. Now remember, it doesn't matter if you get 0. This is all about you testing yourself and seeing what you've got. Pause me. You have 4 minutes. You don't have to copy the table again. You can just write I liked and put it by it or whatever in your pink book. Just make it look neat. 4 minutes. See how many of these you can translate. 7 will be ideal. Any more? Fantastic. You've cracked the EBI. Alors, bon courage mes petits. Vous avez 4 minutes. Pause me now. Restart me in 4 minutes time. On y va. Et voilà mes étudiants. Ici, here, you've got all our answers. This is what the completed grid looked like. Now, I told you I wanted 7. Have a little look, mark it up, see how many you've done. Now, this is the short-term solution. If you know these 4 verbs in all these tenses, you'll never get this EBI again. You'll be able to give your opinions in different tenses and you'll get 2 lots of marks, 1 for content, 1 for your complexity. So it's so worth learning. Let me just talk about our extra challenge again. If this is me, I'd make this grid. I'd do a blank on one side of paper, I'd put the answers on the other, and I'd blue tack it up and I'd test myself every single day until I've got it. That's how to get good. That's what you need to do. So this is what you really need. There's also the daily test, which is part of your homework. The next slide is going to tell you how that works and what you need to do. Excellent effort today. I hope you feel a lot more confident on EBI26. Alors, bon effort mes petits. See you next time. À la prochaine fois. Au revoir. Your next step is your daily test. So your French teacher will have set you this for your homework. You've got your daily test booklet. Do not write in the booklet. What I want you to do, step 1 is in your pink books, copy out this box, copy out all the questions, copy out all the answers, and then copy out the blank test next to it. Then you're going to revise all the answers here. So you're going to spend your time learning this, make sure you master it. Once you've got it, this is what I want you to do. Cover up the answers, make sure you can't see them, and then in the blank test that you've copied out, take out your red pen, see if you can answer all of these questions and see if you can fill in any boxes. Then once you've done that, uncover this and look at what you've done and mark up your work. What have you got right? What have you got wrong? And then have a look. This is the ideal bit. Rinse and repeat. Go back to the start, revise the answers again, and then test yourself again, and then revise again, and then test again, and then mark again, and repeat until you've absolutely cracked it. And then if you've cracked it, say you started Monday and by Tuesday you know it off by heart, great. I bet you by Friday you will have forgotten it again. It's called a daily test because we want you to do it once every day, and the best students do this. Test yourself every day. If you can do it for 5 consecutive days in a row and get 100%, you've cracked it, you've got it, you've done it. So that is your homework for next time. Your extra challenge, guys, is to make a revision poster on this. So why don't you watch the video again, pause it, make a poster, make it look amazing, stick it up in your room or show it to your French teacher, show to make sure you've mastered this. This is EBI 7. It is so important. Hopefully now you're happy and you can crack it. Thank you for watching. À bientôt. Au revoir.